Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Firefighters podcast, where we seek to develop, inspire, and motivate the world of the emergency services operator through a series of wide-ranging conversations. Now, before we go any further, just hit that rate, follow, or subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to. It's a key performance indicator for us and helps us reach even more people. Now, here's what we've got for you today. This is a bit of a roundup episode from our trip to the Emergency Services Show on the 17th and 18th of September 2025, held in NEC Birmingham. And I'll see you on the other side. Jo Tayl, MBE. Jo is the business owner at D-Wipe Limited, and they offer decontamination wipes that remove harmful toxins from the skin and reduce risk of cancer for firefighters and other first responders. We've been chatting with Jo for ages, and we are going to do a full episode at some point soon, but it was a lovely opportunity as we bumped into each other to catch up, grab some time on the microphones, and see what's happening with all the folks at D-Wipe. So let's get in there with Jo. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Gore-Tex Professional Fabrics. Now, we all know the working environment of a firefighter is filled with challenges. We face serious risks on the job, such as heat exhaustion, burns, physical and mental stress, and we frequently come into contact with high levels of toxic chemicals. Now, I have been wearing Gore-Tex for nearly 2 decades on the front line, working in hostile environments, tackling challenging incidents from firefighting to water incidents and in urban search and rescue environments. Gore-Tex have a well-earned reputation for protecting professionals in the fire and emergency services through their family of highly innovative, waterproof, breathable moisture barriers that exceeds global performance standards and are trusted worldwide. Gore-Tex, going further together. So, Jo.
Yes.
We're here at the Emergency Services Show once again, and we were just talking before we started recording. D-Wipe just going from strength to strength now, and we were sort of laughing's a horrible word because it's not the case, but you guys kind of started the big movement towards decontamination, really, and you were banging this drum, God, what was it, 9 years ago?
6 years ago we formed the business. Okay. We knew about it, 8 years ago, and we started to do some studies and started to talk more and get the
stats and all the papers and all of the
and get the doctor, Dr. Megson, who's the scientist behind a lot of it.
Why do you think the States and stuff are so much further ahead than us with this sort of stuff? It certainly feels like they are. I know they're very litigation heavy side of things, but they always feel a little bit like they're a lot further ahead with their sort of awareness of decontamination, and they're taking active steps and really putting the money where their mouth is with it.
I don't know, and I don't know whether it's partly because of volunteers as well, and it's actually been driven from the ground up. Because they're volunteers and they're saying we've got to go out there and do this voluntarily. We need support. We've got to look after ourselves. But I don't really know.
I wonder if for us, there's so many people going into retirement now, and they're not really finding out about getting this wrong until, sadly, it's almost a bit too late to do anything about it. Till they're getting that diagnosis, they've left that collective family of fire and rescue service. And I know we're kind of speaking in our own echo chamber here of fire and rescue service, but this really affects, and John Law was speaking about it recently, our NHS workers, it's affecting our green and grey book staff, it's affecting everyone that interacts with this, our police officers, all this sort of stuff. It's really something that we need to be getting the message out there a lot quicker. Well, I mean, let's cycle back for a second. For people that are completely unfamiliar with D-Wipe, if they've been living on the moon, give us a little bit of an indication of what you guys and girls do. This episode is brought to you in partnership with MSA Safety. Today we have them to thank for the improved firefighter safety through connectivity in their brand new connected firefighter system. At the center of the connected firefighter platform is the MSA M1 SCBA with telemetry. That integrates straight in with the Luna system, which is a wireless all-in-one device creating an independent search and rescue network, providing edge detection, enhanced personal thermal imaging, while simplifying post-scene reporting and data retention. All of this then plugs into the FireGrid system for cloud-based connectivity, real-time information, and data-driven decisions for the incident commander. MSA are truly taking massive strides in the future of improved firefighter safety through connectivity in the brand new MSA Connected Firefighter platform. Now back to the show.
Okay, so we have a range of products to decontaminate. We started with wipes because we knew that on the scene, firefighters didn't have access to any cleaning, anything to do with cleaning, no water. So we brought out a wipe, and that was to use immediately. So as soon as they've been exposed, then they need to wipe off where they've been exposed. And then go back to the mantra, shower within the hour. And they would just do that. So we brought out the wipes, and everybody loved them. We had them tested. We tested them on the 8 most toxin PAHs. So the PAHs that are actually derived from modern day fires, because everything's plastic coated, and that they're the nasties in there. So then after that was successful, we were talking about, well, what about showering in the hour? We need to develop something to wash off in the hour. So we developed the hair and body wash.
Yep.
And that again tested, and we got that out into the services.
Why is it important that people are getting products that are specific to the needs of these types of hydrocarbons? Because they say, oh, well, I'm just going to go home and use my soap. I'm fine, to be honest, Joe. You know, I do wash a lot, you know. Yeah. What do people need to understand about the differences with these toxic effluents that they're interacting with?
Well, you can use anything, and the main thing people used to say was, oh, we've got baby wipes. Baby wipes are £2 or £1, and it's going to cost us that.
Why aren't they good enough?
They're not good enough, no. And what's happening when the heat gets hotter, when you're in a hot environment and the pores open, that's where the absorption is happening in larger pores. So what you're doing with a baby wipe is you're wiping it over, and you're really just smearing the toxins back in. Yeah. And then the ingredients in baby wipes as well are actually reacting with the toxins and making it more toxic. So the difference with our product is that it's formulated to withdraw the impurities. So the nanotechnology is like love and hate water molecules. Okay. So they are attracting them and locking them in, so that you're not putting them back into the skin with your open pores.
What sort of penetration are we getting into the sector now in terms of, you know, not necessarily a specific number, but a percentage of the fire and rescue service that you think are actively participating in a product like yours for that first line of attack for decontamination? The team here at the podcast are extremely excited to announce our brand new partnership with Patrol Store UK. Patrol Store has been serving the UK's police, fire and emergency communities and first responder sector since 2008, providing leading brands such as Hikes, Magnum, 511, Nebo, Op Zulu, Highlander, AKU and many, many more of our favourites. They are now also supplying bespoke uniform, PPE and station workwear to fire services around the UK. So for all our listeners that are part of your USAR, your HEART team, your ISAR team, your armed response teams, your fire investigation, your NALO, your hazmat and all of the training departments that have got your own budgets, be sure to get the absolute best for your team at a realistic price by contacting Aaron and the team at Patrol Store and referencing the Firefighters podcast. Patrol Store will also be taking part in our listener competition giveaways, as well as providing unique discounts to podcast listeners. So for people that are always asking about Hikes boots as an example, that is one unique discount code that is coming to you very soon through Patrol Store. We've also got some incredible bags. I mean, the Op Zulu bags are a game changer. So you know the really Gucci and expensive tactical black bags that everyone's using in CrossFit workouts and taking to the gym and taking to stations? Well, they've basically got that, but it's made better and costs less, because they're not slapping some Gucci expensive brand name on it and it's giving you what you want on a first responder salary. Be sure to keep your eyes in the notes of the episodes for links to unique offers and discount codes. And if you're looking to buy well and buy once, be sure to get in the notes and head over to Patrol Store UK. Now back to the show.
I think from memory there's 5 services that are not using D-Wipe.
Wow.
So they are all adopting it, and also the airport fire and rescue. I think the airport fire and rescue side of it, I've adopted it a lot quicker than the fire and rescue. I think it is easier for them because they've only got them to look after at that airport, but they've took it on board, and the UK fire and rescue services are really taking it on board. 5 years ago, they weren't, and I was knocking on doors and educating them, telling them this is what they should be doing, and we got a lot of doors shut on us. No, we don't need that. Where's the proof? Where's the this? Where's the that? And I think a lot of it has come from the ground up as well. Because firefighters were coming to us and just purchasing. We even had mums and dads purchasing from us just to give to the sons and daughters for Christmas, because they've been talking about it over the Sunday roasts.
We had that declaration from the World Health Organization. People saw Anastec's work come out. They saw the reports from the Fire Brigades Union, but in their services, they probably didn't see any actions coming to the forefront, coming quickly enough to help them find a solution to something that was quite clearly a problem and is going to be a big problem for them potentially further down the line in their career.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think now is the time, and people are adopting it and wiping and cleaning.
One good question that John asked when we were inside was the element of when we look at a lot of the pictures that we have on the wall and a lot of the promotion that we do, female firefighters in particular areas of absorption. So for men and women, we talk about the neck and the groin.
Yeah.
Breast cancer in women, and it's something we obviously, breast cancer in women, in fact men do get breast cancer as well. I think it's 1 in 400 men who get breast cancer.
Yeah.
But particularly in women, we obviously do a lot of awareness with it with the pink firefighters. How much education do you think is still needed around women? Because we see people wiping their faces and wiping their necks. Becoming intimate with their own body and getting around their glands and all that sort of stuff.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, coming to the emergency services show isn't just for us to sell, it's for us to learn as well and know what people are doing and talk to our customers and the younger generation firefighters, female, male firefighters. And we had this subject about breast cancer. Yeah. And our literature doesn't actually say, it's not designed for women, and it doesn't say wipe your breasts. Yeah. And we were discussing where would they do it? Would they just do it on site? Mm-hmm. Does something have to be done? Should they have a curtain so they can do it? And we were having a good brainstorming, and there was a couple of female firefighters there, and they were shocked at the stats that 1 in 7 times more likely to get breast cancer. Yep, 100%. Than
a lot of the research you've seen from Canada and America has certainly proven that. And it's quite a shocking statistic when you think 1 in 6 women of the general public is going to get breast cancer anyway. My mathematics isn't very good, but if we say 7 times more likely and it's 1 in 6 for the general public, I don't know what that makes
scary.
it. 1 in 3, stat. I don't know, 1 in 4, something like that as a firefighter. So if you're on one of those trucks and there's 4 women on the truck and that's fantastic, one of you is likely to get breast cancer in your career.
That's scary.
Which is scary. And are you taking the actions that you need to prevent that?
Yeah. And I don't think they are, and I don't think it's well, I think they are, but it's not. We've never really talked about it for breast cancer for women. It's just neck, arms, anything exposed. But it's
this stuff goes straight through the clothes, doesn't it? It doesn't have preferential for people. Yeah. Well, I know we're going to have a full conversation on the podcast at some point in the future. Yes. But for now, it was a great pleasure seeing you and the team here today, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Great seeing you too.
The Firefighters podcast was created to recognize, acknowledge, inspire, and hopefully even motivate these incredible individuals who have chosen to be part of the first responder community. Our driving purpose is to create a legacy resource for the current and future generations of firefighters and first responders. We get some incredible feedback from listeners and guests. And as the podcast grows, our desire to create longevity and sustainability means that we are asking for the support of our listeners. If you want to support the podcast, if you want to get discounts to our merchandise, hoodies, clothing, coins, patches, tallies, and also access to all of the incredible documents get shared with us from our podcast guests and sector leaders, then please head over to our Patreon page, and for just £3 a month, you can support the future of the podcast. Please finally hit that follow, subscribe, or rate button on the platform you're listening, and wherever you're around the world, please support your emergency services responders, and thank you for listening.